source. But I can tell it's not termites because these little holes through the wood, these channels and tunnels, they call those galleries. And what galleries look like from a termite, they're very slender and they go right with the grain of the wood. Now, a lot of these galleries go back and forth this way, too. And they're more rounded and they're large. And if they were termites, they'd be like a muddy, pasty substance there. But that's not there. These are very clean and smooth. So, what I know about insects is the type of insect that does that type of damage and makes large galleries like that would be a carpenter ant. And carpenter ants are very tidy housekeepers inside their galleries. They don't eat the wood. They just chew through the wood, and they throw the sawdust away. That's why there's sawdust on the outside of the wood, because they tossed it out of the galleries. So, knowing those things, which is part of the science part of science that helps me know that is called biology. So I know something about termites, and I know something about carpenter ants, and knowing those things about those pests help me to identify this particular habitat that they have here. And also, another thing, when I look at this wood, I can tell by this dark discoloration that this wood had been wet. And that also tells me something about that pest, because carpenter ants like damper areas. Now, another thing about science, how many people have studied the water cycle? Condensation?
Condensation.
Okay, and so condensation, sometimes leaks can cause moisture problems, but sometimes it's just simply condensation around a window frame. And that can be a problem with moisture that can make an area very interesting for insects to want to move into. So a lot of these things, these pieces of knowledge that I've learned, and I've taken the science and everything that I've learned, and I've put it together, and I can come up with a solution of what I'm dealing with. Now, my training as a pest control professional teaches me what type of things I need to do to take action to get rid of these. Well, first and foremost, we've got to make sure that the customer takes care of the problem with the moisture, too. So I have to teach them about that. See, my job incorporates a lot of things. All those subjects I talked to you about, it encompasses those. It has all of those things as part of the job. But I also am, I'm a teacher as well, because I have to educate the people who have the problems of how their problem came to be. What caused that problem? Why did those insects want to move in there? And so I have to teach them about those things so that they understand, so that they'll be willing to work to make those problems that they can deal with, the moisture problems, go away. And then I also have to, a lot of what I have to do is like being a detective sort of too. I have to look at the evidence that's there, and I have to inspect it. And then I take those other things I know in my education, put them all together. So it's quite an interesting task. So sometimes I know when back when I was in school, I'd say, oh, it's time for math again. Oh, writing. Oh. But now I see how important that was. And it is, and I do that stuff every day now. It's every day I utilize those things. Those things are very important to me now.
I'm going to jump in here.
Yeah, why don't you jump in?
What are these? Who knows what these things are? You got a bunch of hands again. Go ahead.
Mouse traps.
This is. It's not a trap, though. I'll tell you why in a minute. Who knows what this is?
A bigger trap?
Yes. What kind, though?
For rats?
That's it. What happens with these things, they're called tamper-proof, tamper-resistant stations. What that means is no little kids or no pets can actually get into these because we put bait in here. When someone calls us and says they have a mouse problem or a rat problem, we have to put bait in here. We have to put it in their house in certain areas where the problem lies. Take care of that so the mouse and kids don't get in there. What happens is it goes right in here. There's 2 holes on either side. The mouse will go right into that, lean over a bit, eating on the bait, go right out the other way. And he'd be dead within 3 to 5 days. The rat traps, you can look at that and pass it around if you guys want to pass it. Go ahead.
Are mouses smaller than rats?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. That's why we have the bigger boxes.
Also,
And they have, no, you can get it in there, they don't have any backbones.
so they can.
So they just squint right down, it's all cartilage. It'll go right in there, you'll lean on that, and it goes out the other side.
So